Hey besties, I'm so glad that you're here. If you are new, I'm Lisa Marie. Thanks for stopping by. If you are one of my subscribers or besties, I love you and appreciate you so much. In today's video, I have 6 adorable Easter Bunny DIYs for you, and this video is part of a collab, which I'll tell you about just a little bit later. I can't wait to show you. So let's go. For this DIY, I have a picture frame from the Dollar Tree, 8x10, and then I've got a little piece of cardboard that I'm going to use my Cricut just to kind of score out a shape of a bunny, because, you know, freehanding it won't come out quite as nice. So I just ran it through, and now I'm just going to cut it out. It didn't go all the way through the cardboard. I don't have the right blade for that. I'm going to take everything out of my frame, you know, the backing and the glass and so forth, so that I can start working on what I'm going to do to the frame. I decided to use my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint, which I got from Amazon, to paint the frame. If I mention I got something at Amazon, I have an Amazon store and you can find those items there if it's something you need. And you'll find the link in my description box. I'm just going to go around and paint it. I'm not trying to get like a very solid coverage because I will be distressing it. So I've done the whole entire front, sides, and the back. Now I'm going to take the inside portion that has the stand on it, and I'm going to figure out with some paint sticks that I also got at Amazon how many I need to actually fit across the whole thing and create some kind of faux shiplap planks. Now I'm going to tape them all together, and I used my square to make sure they were all even. That way when I put them in my little, you know, box miter saw, they'll stick together and I can cut them all at one time. You see how nicely that's happening? And then I'm just going to sand the ends, and I'm going to use my Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue, which I'm really liking, by the way. I ordered that on Amazon as well. And I'm just going to glue each one of the planks, and they fit perfectly now on there. And all I have to do at the end is just sand around the edges just a teeny bit. I'm going to use my little Dollar Tree clamps to hold them in place. And there they are. Now I'm going to sand the entire surface with my little sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use some burnt umber acrylic paint from Apple Barrel and mix it with some water, and I'm going to use a little foam brush, and I'm just going to apply it across the whole thing and basically treat it like a stain. And I didn't even rub it off because it was just fine the way it was. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that Rust-Oleum white linen chalk paint, and I'm just going to dry brush across the top. Now I've got this cute piece of material from many years ago. I'm just going to cut a smaller piece, and I'm going to use my Beacon Fabri-Tac glue, which is great for fabric. I learned about this from my friend Linda at Faith Chick 777's DIY and Design, and I'll put her link down in the description box. And I got that on Amazon too. And I'm going to apply that to the bunny, and I'm going to put my fabric right on it. I'm going to take my brayer, and I'm going to roll right over the top of that and make sure it's adhering really well. And I'll take some scissors and cut it out. And I'll use a blade for any little pieces I couldn't get with the scissors. Now I am going to take that white paint again, and I'm just going to go around the edges and make it bleed a little over onto the front. I'm going to hot glue the bunny right onto the middle of my planks, and then I'm going to take some Mod Podge. I'm going to use matte. I'm just going to do the wood planks. Now I didn't want to do it before the bunny was on because I didn't think the bunny would stick as well. And all I have to do now is put it in the frame. But I decided I still wanted to stress that frame. So I just take a nail file and go all the way around. You guys, this is so easy. It came out so cute, very rustic, and I really, really love it. One of the great things about this is you can use any fabric or scrapbook paper or napkins. If you like, you could paint it any color and just customize it to your decor. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Today's video is part of the Bunnies Hopping Around the World collab. It's a wonderful, talented group of creators. There'll be a playlist in my description box. Be sure to go down there and click on it and watch all of these videos. There's going to be so much inspiration there. And our hostesses are Deco Easy, Yanni and Diane, and they are just so wonderful and talented. These beautiful ladies are from the Netherlands. You will love to see what they have, and I will also have their channel link below in the description box. If you're coming over from one of the other channels, welcome. I'm so happy to meet you. If you are enjoying this video, I hope you will consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here. There's something so rustic about like ragdoll type of things, and I'm gonna make a kind of a ragdoll bunny. So I freehanded this one, that's why it's not so great. But anyway, I cut it out on a piece of cardboard. You know, I'm always so inspired by my friend Holly at Hot Humble Pie because she does so much with cardboard, so I thought I should give it more of a try. I'll leave her link down in the description box. You will love her. And then I'm using a piece of a drop cloth, and that gives it that kind of rag feel. I'm just gonna trace the shape around it, and then I'm going to cut it out. And it's doubled over, by the way, because I do need 2 pieces. We're gonna make it kind of a plushie. And then you see I cut around the lines a little because those are going to be sort of like my glue seams. I'm not going to sew this, but you most certainly can. I just didn't feel like it. I'm going to use this pillow stuffing I have right here, and I'm going to start gluing from the bottom because those are the wider, bigger pieces, and I think it'll make it a lot easier than starting with the skinny little ears. And so once I get enough of the bottom and the sides glued, I'm going to start stuffing very gently, just little pieces at a time, pushing around until I get it to the thickness that I want. And I'm not going for anything super thick, just a little stuffing. And now I'm going to add a little bit of that stuffing and just go little by little, glue a little more on the sides, add a little more stuffing, all the way up to the top. And then I'll slow down a little bit to show you how I do the ears. Now for the ears, I'm going to pull out some little pieces of the stuffing and kind of roll them a little bit so that the bottom is a little wider than the top. That's kind of how the ears are shaped. And then I'm going to stuff it in. I only glued one side so far of that one ear, and I'm going to push it in, and then I will glue down the other side. And I'll repeat the same thing on the other ear and make sure that little spot in between the 2 ears is sealed as well. And I really do shove that stuffing in there so I can get to the 2 ends, otherwise you'll glue the stuffing. And there it is. And now I'm going to take my little baby scissors and I'm just going to cut little teeny slits around the side so that it frays. I took another piece of that scrap material that I'd cut off, and I'm creating a little apron. And so it wasn't big enough to just do it outright, so I took 2 pieces and I'm just kind of gluing down the seams in the middle. You see the little straps around the side, and where that seam is, that's going to be kind of right where the bunny's tummy meets in the middle. I'm going to glue that down, and once I have that glued down except for the very top, which will have an opening, it's almost like a front pocket even though it looks like an apron, then I'm just going to tie the little straps in the back into a knot, and I'll just tack those down with a little teeny bit of hot glue so they don't flop around. Now I've got these buttons from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to find one that I like. I narrowed it down to 3, and then I finally picked this one. And then I'm just going to put some hot glue on it, a generous amount, and I'm going to put it right on the little bunny's face. I'm only going to do one side of this bunny. I'm going to take this orange burlap from the Dollar Tree and kind of just keep folding it until I make like what looks like a carrot shape. And then I'm going to trim it when I'm done and make it really look like more of a carrot shape. Then I'm going to take this green twine that I have. I think it's from the Dollar Tree. I'm not actually sure. And I'm going to wrap it around my fingers several times and cut one side open and then glue the other side kind of to itself. And that will make the greenery that comes out of the carrot. I'm going to do the same thing with a little bit of jute twine because I want it to be kind of a combination of the green and the tan kind of jute color. And see how it's looking like a carrot now. And this is, I'm not going to do it as much with the jute. I just want to add a little accent in there. And I'm gluing them together. And then I'm going to put a little hot glue on the back of the carrot, attach the greenery, and then I cut a little triangle to cover that up, put that right on there, and then I'm just going to trim the carrot till it's the size that I want. I'm going to make 3 carrots. They came out really cute and they were super easy to make. And I'm just going to test it out and see how it fits in the pocket. And there they are. Now I'm going to take this mop head, and it's like 4 strands in one, and I'm going to separate them, wrap around my finger. I'm going to make not a full pom-pom, but kind of like a partial pom-pom. So otherwise I would have made it way thicker if it was a full pom-pom. But after I wrap it around a ton of times, keep adding more pieces, I just put 1 string in the middle and then tie it around one little end. Then I trim that piece and I just start trimming the little pom-pom, like giving it a haircut. This is going to be my bunny tail. And I thought that was so cute. Cut out a little like triangle of the back end of the bunny where you would have it, and there's a little hole there now, and I'm just going to kind of shove the bunny tail in there and glue it, and that worked perfectly. And now there are the carrots. I just love this little bunny. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments, and I really hope you guys like it too. can you do me a small favor? Can you hit that like button if you're enjoying this video? Believe me, it helps my channel so much, and it tells YouTube to show my video to more people, so thank you. For this DIY, I'm going to use a sock and a piece of a sock, and I wish I had tube socks. It would have been so much better. Then I'm going to use some burnt umber paint by Apple Barrel and the Fawn Waverly chalk paint. I'm going to mix those two together, take a baby wipe and rub it all over the socks because I really want it to look kind of like a worn out rag. And I didn't want to use the drop cloth because then I would have to deal with all the ends, but as a sock it's already solid. And I'm just pouring some rice in there. I'm just using a little bucket and rolling the top over to make it easier. When I get the first section the way I want it, I'm going to tie some twine around it, twice and make it really secure, and then cut off the ends. Then I'm going to add some more rice. Again, if I'd had a tube sock, what's going to happen next would have been so much better. So see that little teeny piece that was left? I needed more. So I had to add another piece of sock, kind of tie it on, and then cut it down the middle to make bunny ears. So imagine if it had been a tube sock. You would have had the ears built in already, and this would have been a much easier process. So if you make this, definitely use a tube sock, okay? I didn't have one. It didn't occur to me till I was already this far. Anyway, so now I'm cutting the ears, and you see I've got that big bunch in the middle there. I'm going to have to deal with that later, but I will. I'm going to trim them so they'll be kind of thinner, and then what I'm going to do is fold over as much as I can and hot glue kind of pieces down to cover where that extra piece was attached so you won't see it. And then I'm kind of putting a little bit of hot glue between the ears to hold them together. I'm going to add a couple of buttons from the Dollar Tree to the center for his little bunny outfit. Then I've got this like poly rope from the Dollar Tree in the automotive section. It's red, and I'm just going to kind of wrap it around itself and cut it and hot glue it and make a little nose. Then I'm going to take some twine, and I'm just literally going to add like 3 whiskers on each side. Just hot glue that right down. Then I'm going to take some scrap drop cloth that I had, and I'm going to make a little pocket. And I'm going to hot glue the pocket right onto the side of my little sock bunny. And there's my pocket once I get the last side attached. Obviously you can sew these kind of things if you want, but this is just so easy to do with hot glue. It's not like it's gonna carry anything heavy. I'm using a jot marker, and I am making the little bunny mouth, and it doesn't go on as nice as I want. And I'm gonna also make the bunny eyes. So I end up taking a little bit of black Apple Barrel paint and filling in with a very fine art brush. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of white Apple Barrel paint and make the little part of the eyeballs. Just kind of dab it on there. And then I've got a little piece of sock that was left over, and I kind of cut it into a triangle, and I'm just gonna roll it onto itself and hot glue it and make a carrot shape. And then I've got some orange yarn from the Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna wrap it around, hot gluing it as I go, and then wrap it up around the top to cover all of the sock. And once I have that all glued down, I'm going to take some of the green twine that I have, and I'm going to wrap that around my fingers many times. Doesn't matter, it's up to you how much greenery you want. I'm just going to cut one end, hot glue the other end to itself, and then hot glue it directly to the top of the carrot, and that makes its little greenery. And I really like how this carrot turned out. Then I've got some buffalo check ribbon. I'm going to make it a little awareness type ribbon, and then I'm just going to hot glue it in the center so it'll stay in place. And then I'm going to take another little piece of plaid black and white ribbon. I'm just going to hot glue that around the center, give it a cute little centerpiece. And now I got to deal with that top of the bunny. So I'm going to start rolling it up and create kind of like seams. And I'm just hot gluing as I go. And now you won't see so much. I mean, you see it, but the bow's going to cover it pretty well. And that's the best I could do. Like I said, you really need a tube sock for this one. I still think it came out so cute, and I really love it. I would love to hear what you think about this one down in the comments. Want to let you know I'm on social media, so if you want, you can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and TikTok. I'd love to see you there. All my links are down in the description box. Plus, you can send me photos if you make something that maybe I inspired you to create. I would love to see them. I have this sign from the Dollar Tree, actually 2 of them. One has the metal bunny on it, which I need the bunny, but right now I don't need the sign, so I'll put that aside and I'll take the bunny for this particular DIY. And then that little welcome sign I'm going to use, I'm going to take off the plastic, paint the inside with a white acrylic paint because I want to get some pretty good coverage. You may wonder why I didn't use any painter's tape on this. I'm wondering that too now that I'm watching it back. I was trying to be careful, but I'm not very careful. So I did get paint on stuff, and now I'm putting celery. It's a chalk paint color from Waverly over the top, and I really love that. And that becomes like the second coat that really covers the words. And then I thought, now I'm going to see how the bunny's going to fit on there, and I realized I probably need to paint that little frame white. Well, I took out my Arteza paint markers, and I did that, but it shows the little marks like where you write. So I thought, okay, I'll just make that my base coat, and then I'll go get my white paint out again, and I'll touch that up. So I'm just using the pen to get the edges too, because that is a little easier than a brush. And now I'm going to go ahead and cover it so it looks really good. I feel like I did a lot of things on this one that took longer than they should have. Do you guys ever do that? I mean, just you think, oh, I'm going to do this and that, and then you make it so much worse by the choices that you make. Anyway, maybe it's just me, but that's what I did on this one. It should have gone way faster. So don't do what I did. Just paint it white to begin with, or put tape on it. See how I just got white on the green? Oh my gosh, Lisa, you need to use tape. Does turn out really cute, and I'm really happy with it overall. Again, tape would have been super nice, and I have some, so there's really no good excuse. Now that I have this all painted, I'm going to attach the bunny with some hot glue right over the top, and I just think it turns out super cute. So after all that, I still really love it. I hope you do too. DIY, I'm using one of those conversation bubble signs that Dollar Tree has, and I'm just going to draw a little line and use my blade, utility knife, I guess, and I'm going to get rid of the little point at the bottom. I want it to look like the body of an Easter bunny. This one is going to be a cute bunny one. And then I also have this other sign from Dollar Tree that had different shapes on it. It had Easter eggs and different things, and I turned one of them into a head for the bunny, and I just took the whole thing apart. And then I also have that headband with the bunny ears, and I'm going to use that as well. So I'm hot gluing the two pieces together. I'm going to paint it with the Waverly chalk paint in plaster. I'm going to do 2 coats to cover it completely. I found a little bunny face online, and so just looking at my phone, and I'm freehanding the eyes and the mouth and the nose. And once I do that, I'm going to take my Arteza black paint marker, and I'm going to go ahead and draw in the eyes. And so, or actually the eye, I only have one because it's a side view. It was so easy, and it actually looks really cute. So don't be intimidated by trying to do something like this. It's actually not that hard. Dollar Tree sells these little tools, the one I'm holding. I think they're for scoring, but I use them for very precise painting like this because it's like a little point, but it's round, you know, like a ball tip. And so it works really well if you can find them in the Crafter Square section. I was so excited. I finally found the color ballet slipper from the Waverly chalk paint at Walmart. I've been looking for it for a long time. So I'm doing the nose with that color. It's so cute. And then I'm going to touch up where I went over the line a little bit. And afterwards, I'm going to use ballet slipper again to make the cute little rosy cheeks. I'm also going to use ballet slipper like dry brushing around the edges of the bunny because I just wanted a little bit of pink in there, and I just love the way it looked. Now I'm going to attach the little bunny ears. I'm going to stretch it out a bit, and then I'm going to hot glue it directly onto the head, and it looks so cute, you guys. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm going to use one of these microfiber dust pads from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut out a little circle and make a fuzzy tail for the bunny, and that was just perfect. I'm also going to use this gray and white mop head, and I'm going to start creating a circle with them, kind of like, you know, attaching them around the sides of itself. And I'm going to use hot glue, and those will be the 2 little feet that you see on the one side. And I'm just looking for some different textures, and I actually really liked the way that came out. It was super easy, and I had lots of extra ones. I have one of those little baby carrots from the Dollar Tree, and I just put it there like he was holding it. And now I'm going to take some floral pics from Dollar Tree, just really vibrant, beautiful colors, and I'm going to cut off the little pieces, and I'm going to create a little bouquet. that I'm going to wrap in some ribbon that I got, I believe at Walmart. Really pretty burlap ribbon with lace on it. And I'm just going to hot glue that directly to the center of the bunny. I'm going to get some jute twine and I'm going to make a cute little bow, the kind where you just wrap it around your fingers a bunch of times, tie the center, and then snip the loops. I'm also going to fill in the little hole above the eye with some hot glue and then paint it with the plaster. Super easy, you guys. I mean, seriously, this was such an easy one and it came out so cute, so festive. I'm just so happy with how it turned out. You'll have to tell me what you think. I really love it. DIY is another super fun, festive Easter craft. I found this sign at the Dollar Tree with all the little eggs and a bunny and a chick on it. And I'm going to use the eggs and the bunny. I'm just going to rip the pieces apart. It came apart super easy. And I also found this pretty basket at the Dollar Tree. And then I've got these big round kind of, I don't know what you call those florals, but they're huge. And I cut 3 of them and just set them in the basket. Didn't even need foam or anything. They fit in there perfectly. I'm just arranging the leaves. And then I'm going to leave all of these eggs just as they are because they're super cute and I just think there's no reason to change them. And I'm going to hot glue them to the front and position them kind of into a fun little design. And this is so easy, you guys. This one, you don't have to do any special techniques, no painting, yay. No mess to clean up, just hot glue and that's it. You guys, Easter is such a special time of the year. It's a time for us to remember that the Savior is there for us, that He came back and that He rose again. And oh my gosh, there's so much hope in that, so much eternal hope. And I just pray that every one of you fully receives the gift that He has given you. Because of the way that I hot glued the eggs on, there was a little gap between 2 of them. So I just took a little piece of a shim and put it in between, and that will keep that nice and solid. And that way, you know, I won't accidentally break it if I move it around. I'm going to add the little bunny just behind the very top of the egg, so he's just kind of peeking out. And I just think it's so cute. I mean, I could have painted it and done stuff to it, but I think it was cute the way it was. And I have this little heart tag that's like a little chalkboard surface, and I'm using one of my Arteza paint markers, and I'm just writing Happy Easter. Not super fancy, just, you know, regular capital letters. And I'm going to put a really pretty little turquoise piece of ribbon in there and hang it on the bunny. I'm just going to add a little teeny bit of hot glue to keep the heart where I want it to sit, and that'll just hold it nice and secure. I have this green twine, and I honestly can't remember if it's from Dollar Tree or Walmart, but it's one of those 2. And I'm literally just going to wrap it around 2 fingers and make one of those little simple bows where you tie off the middle. This one I'm not going to cut open the loops though. I think it looks really cute. It's almost going to look like the bunny has a bow tie. This was such a fun and easy little centerpiece to make, just to have a nice festive Easter table. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to check the playlist link down in my description box so you can watch all of the amazing inspiration that's being shared by all of my friends in this collaboration. And thanks again to Deco Easy for hosting it. Thank you so much for watching. That means a lot to me. And I do want you to know that you are truly a blessing to me. If you like this video, I've got a couple other videos up here that I think you'll really like. So click on one of those next, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.